Friday at Pizza Flicks. Tonight, it's a pre-code Hollywood crime drama from writer, director, and star Willard Mack. In a bit of related gangster trivia, on May 16, 1929, Scarface himself, Al Capone, and his trigger man, Frank Rio, were arrested outside the Stanley Theater in Philadelphia right after watching this very film.
Robert Doyle, it is the judgment of this court that you be confined in state prison at hard labor for a period of 20 years for all the next case.
All right, kid. Be careful now. I got you. You go first, Eddie. Stick close to the wall. You got the rope? Under me, coat. Good luck, kid. Okay.
What news? All quiet. That Jane's been looking out of that window all evening. He won't blow back here. You never can tell. Well, I'm going to eat.
That's the third time today that organ grinder's been down there. Mary, you go goofy sitting there like that. Go make yourself a cup of tea or something. I'm scared. Oh, I'm terribly scared. Well, this isn't the time to be scared. It's 34 hours since he went over that wall, and no sign of him yet. Well, that's why I'm scared. I tell you, it was all wrong fixing it up for him to come here. Well, this is the first place they'll look.
No, it isn't, dear. It's the last place they'll look. They won't figure he'd be game enough to come here to my home.
Phoebe, tell me something.
Well, let's hear it.
Do you think Bobby killed that man?
Do I think so? Why, Mary Doyle, you, his sister. You ain't asking me that.
But how could they send him to the penitentiary like they did if he didn't do it?
How could they? Why, listen, dear. There's guys in this burg that can get you croaked for a dime, and for another dime prove you committed suicide.
Well, he's my brother, and you know how I love him. But if I thought he killed a man...
Oh, stop that, Mary. I love him, too. I love him too much to spend any more time talking about what I know isn't true. He did what a lot of other kids have done. Picked himself some bad company, and when the jam came... Come in. Oh, hello, Johnny.
Hello, Johnny.
Hello, kids. Any news?
Not a rumble yet. What do you hear about it?
Oh, I hear a lot of noise. The cops are half crazy. They made half a dozen arrests in the northern part of the state, and they had to turn them all loose. Tickles me pink.
Do you think they're watching us here?
Oh, sure they are, but not very strong. You know what I mean. They ain't got an idea he'd blow right back here a month after he was sent up. You know, I have to laugh when I think how I got him out. I got them saws and the ropes over the wall, and I was talking to a guard 5 minutes before I did it.
Oh, don't talk about that so loud.
It was wonderful of you, Johnny. I've been so excited. I guess I didn't thank you yet, did I?
Oh, that's all right. You see, they didn't none of them figure I'd have nerve enough to pull anything like that. They're always looking for that kind of thing from some big iron-jawed baby who spits arsenic. But me, they don't give me a rumble.
Do you think he'll make it here all right?
Hey, Bibi, listen, kid. Getting him here to this house ain't half of it. It's where we hide him afterwards. And once we hide him, we don't tell no one where he is. Get that? No one.
You mean we won't tell Don?
We won't tell anybody.
But Don should know. Don's his friend.
Don don't know who got him out, does he? You didn't tell him that, did you?
No. I didn't tell him because I didn't want to get you in bad.
Well, I proved that I'm Bobby's friend. Now let the rest of them do likewise.
Well, we haven't been wasting a lot of time either. We didn't show you our sofa yet, did we?
Your sofa?
Take a look, kid.
Well, what the...
Mary and me doped it out. We took the stuffing out, put some air holes in, and he can crawl right in there and sleep for 10 hours.
It's dandy, ain't it?
Yeah, but I thought he was going to lay up at my place.
But he's coming here first. Because I've got to see him. You know that, don't you, Johnny? I've got to see him.
Hey, there's a guy across the street watching this window. He's been there for 10 minutes.
He look like a dick?
No. He looks like one of those fellows that climbs poles or something.
Well, if a good-looking Jane like you's going to park herself in that window, it's a cinch you'll keep looking up here. Hey, listen, we'll all go bugs standing around here looking at each other like this. What do you say to a little game of rummy?
Anything, kid, to pass the time. Come on, Mary.
He's still looking up here.
Who's this?
The gardener.
Hello? Yes? Yeah, this is her. Oh, hello, Don. No. No. Sure, of course. I understand. It was Don. He wanted to know if we heard anything.
Gee, he's been nice to us.
Johnny, I can't tell you how nice he's been to us since Bobby went up.
Yeah, he's a nice fellow. Well, come on, Bright Eyes, what are you going to do?
Well, first I thought I'd play this one.
Yeah?
But on second thought,
Yeah?
maybe this one would be better. Still, I don't know. Maybe I ought to save that one.
Hello? Yes, Wilma speaking. What's that?
Now, wait a minute before you say any more. Will you please remember Doyle could go only so far in 34 hours? Huh? Well, if they got him out there, he went like Lindbergh did. Very high. What's that? Oh, tell him they're nuts. And send it collect. See, there's a good one. Butte, Montana wears in, they got Doyle.
Oh, we'll hear from Paris before morning.
It's funny, though, that we haven't picked him up.
No, not so funny. You see, Chief, if he were a regular gunman, we'd know just what to expect. But being a poor, harmless punk kid, he's likely to do most anything.
Yes, that's... Hello. Yes. What does he want? All right, send him in. Dapper Don is coming in.
He is, huh? What does he want?
I don't know. Says he wants to see you.
I don't like that egg. He's getting too strong.
Come in.
Good evening, Inspector. You too, Biff. How are you?
Oh, we're as well as a couple of cops can be in a nice, clean town like this. What's on your mind?
Any news of Doyle?
News?
Yeah. You haven't picked him up yet, have you?
You read the papers, don't you?
I read him, but I don't always believe him. You could have had him here for a month and the papers not know it.
Well, we haven't. Why?
I'll tell you why, Inspector. I don't want him picked up.
Oh, you don't want him picked up.
No, don't misunderstand me. I mean, it would please me a whole lot if you didn't.
And why?
Because he's a nice boy. From nice people. Just a kid who got in wrong. Never was a real hard guy at heart.
What do you mean, just a kid who got in wrong? He's in your mob, ain't he?
He is not.
No?
I wouldn't have him in it. Didn't want him in it. I was the most surprised man in this town the night I heard he shot that cop.
But he did shoot him, and he went up to do 20 years for it. And take it from me, he's going back.
Right.
What will that get you? That won't get the cop back, will it? And it won't help the cop's family either, will it? Now, I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll donate $5,000 to the officer's family. $5,000 if you give Doyle a break. Let him get away somewhere and start all over again.
What is this, a revival meeting?
Wait a minute, Biff. I want to hear more of this.
Well, there isn't any more. Listen, Inspector, if that kid were free and clear out of this mess, he'd get so far out of this town you'd never hear of him again. And wouldn't the money mean a whole lot more to those poor people than your revenge?
Hey, tell us something. How comes that you blow up here so full of sweet thoughts? You're not forgetting, are you, that it's only because of your drag in this town that you're not saying good morning, Judge, yourself?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Well, when I say good morning, Judge, you won't be around to hear it.
Oh, you think not, huh?
I know you won't. Your style of cop can't last much longer than any town.
Meaning you can't fix me.
I never tried to fix you, did I?
Well, no, I can't say you did, no.
Now, I've heard enough. That's all, Mr. Wilkes. We shall redouble our efforts to get Doyle, and you can lay a bet on that.
All right. I'm sorry. You can't see it my way because I'm quite sure that my way is best.
Oh, and
At least for those poor people who are suffering through the death of that policeman. Good night.
Well, and what's that all about, do you think?
I don't know, but it tipped me off to one thing.
What's that?
He doesn't know where Doyle is either.
You going?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to run over and give that Jane a Doyle's, the once over.
But, Biff, do you really think that he'd blow back here?
Listen, Chief. After 20 years in this racket, I found out this much. When a guy gets in trouble, he's never satisfied till he drags some woman along with him. He'll be back.
Yes. That's right.
I got enough.
Hey, you learned to play cards with a guy who had paralysis, didn't you?
Well, I gotta make decisions, ain't I?
Yeah.
What time is it?
Well, turn around, darling. The clock's right behind you.
Gee, I'm going nuts. I forgot.
Well, why be so restless? We know they ain't grabbed him.
How do we know that?
Well, wouldn't it be in the papers? And here's the latest extra right here in my pocket. See what it says. The police are expecting hourly to have him again in custody. That old hooey.
Yeah, but that paper's 2 hours old.
Gee, that's a good-looking sports suit for $14.75.
Oh, you would think of that at a time like this.
Ooh, there's a fire somewhere. Well, what do you think of that? They're stopping right out here.
Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
It's just our luck now to have this joint burned down.
These kind of joints never burn down. They fall down.
Look, there's the hook and ladder.
Yeah, and the chief himself.
I wonder where it is.
Hello, kid.
Bobby.
Baby. Gee, it's been a long time.
Look who's here.
Hello, Mary.
I knew you'd make it, kid. Did you have much trouble?
Pull down that shade, Mary. After getting this far, I don't want to take any chances on going back.
Do you think they're trailing you now?
Sure, of course, kid. They're looking for me everywhere. That's why I didn't want to take no chances on busting right up here.
How do you mean?
I pulled that firebox.
You?
Huh?
Sure. When I got across the street, I was afraid to come right up here, so I put in a fire alarm.
Oh.
When the engines come, I sneak through the crowd and come up.
Bobby, we gotta be so careful.
Sure, baby, I know that. Mary, kid, you're looking kind of thin.
I've been terrible worried.
Hey, what do you got on? Where's the clothes we hid for you?
Hey, gee, I'm tired. Let me sit down, will you?
Of course you are.
There wasn't no time for the clothes, Johnny. You see, it's all right to plan jailbreaks like we did, but they don't always work out. We figured we'd get anyhow a half-hour stop, but old Eagle Eye Conley on the north wall spotted us before we got to the woods and started shooting.
Bobby.
At you?
They must have got Eddie on the first volley, because I heard him talking when they found his body. I was hiding under a pile of brush not 20 feet away. They went right by me.
Don't you see, Bobby? God was on our side, 'cause he knows you're not guilty. Don't you see?
Yeah, I guess that must have had something to do with it. 'Cause not 10 minutes later, a terrible storm come up. Wind and rain and everything. I finally found my way over to a little junction. You know, Valleydale.
Yeah.
I picked this get-up off a clothesline. Then I grabbed the freight and come in.
Oh, you poor kid. Are you hungry?
Gee, I don't know, sis, maybe. You see, when you're trying to beat the cops like I've been, you ain't got much time to think about eating.
Shall I get you something?
No, we better let that go for a while. We got too much to talk about first.
Yeah, Johnny's right. I ain't clear yet, you know.
Oh. Let me look at you again. Got any idea what it means for me to have my arms around your neck again like this?
You got any idea what it means to me?
All those long nights. Mary and me laying there in that bed, figuring, planning, hoping, praying that you'd make it. And when Johnny came back and told us you had the saws and the ropes, I died, honey. I died waiting to hear you was out.
At first, I was afraid I wasn't going to have the nerve to try it. And when I heard them shots and the bullets was whistling by my head, I was about ready to give up. But your face was in front of me all the time, kid. And while I was running, I kept saying, go on, go on. You're going back to her. You're going back to her.
Yeah, well, that's fine. But if you're going to sit here playing love scenes like they do in moving pictures, you'll be going back to jail. Oh, come on, talk quick now. What are you going to do?
Well, you got that all framed for me, ain't you? The thing to do is lay low for a month or so. Then I'm going to start working on an idea. The only idea I had since I got sent up to do that 20 years. Listen, the night that cop was shot, I was 2 miles away, on the other side of town. Now, somebody used me for the goat. And whoever that somebody was is going to pay me for every minute I spent looking through that cell door.
Bobby.
Oh,
Now,
no.
don't anybody try to stop me on this. I love you all, but I'll croak the guy that framed me as sure as my name is Doyle.
You won't.
You think I won't? You wait.
You won't, Bobby. You won't if I mean anything to you. Oh, wait, honey, wait. Let me talk to you about it. Some other time, honey. Some other time.
Yeah, some other time is a great idea. Now listen to this. You're going over to my place tonight. There's a room over there on the top floor, and there ain't even a regular stairway leading up to it. Why, you could live there forever.
What do you mean? Your place on 10th Avenue?
Yeah, sure. Hey, you ain't squawking about living on 10th Avenue, are you? Gee, this guy came out of the pen with a high hat.
No, Johnny, I didn't mean that. But it's a long way over to your place. An awful long way. And with a cop on every corner, how am I going to get there?
We got that all fixed.
So I says to this guy, I says, what do you mean you're giving me a tip? That horse couldn't win if he had 5 legs.
Come in. Is that door locked? Wait a minute. Oh, it's you.
Miss the actress.
Who's this?
This is Martha. She cleans the room.
It's all right, honey. It was only Martha.
Is this him, your fella?
That's him.
Oh, gee. I ain't never had a fella look like him.
Well, let me slip you something else. You won't.
Hey, why declare her in this?
She's all right. And she brought you the clothes.
What clothes?
Well, that's what we've been doping out. She brought you an old black dress and a shawl. So you look like an old woman. You know, like one of those poor old babies you see down around 10th Avenue.
What do you mean? I gotta wear a dress?
Sure, it's a great idea, kid. They ain't looking for those kind of stunts these days.
All right. Anything so long as I get over to your joint safe. Hey, now do something for me. All of you, will you?
Yeah, what is it?
Go out in the hall and give me a chance to talk to her alone. Huh?
Sure. Come on, Johnny. I bet they're going to pull a lot of love stuff.
No. He's going to sell her a pair of overshoes.
Hey, Johnny.
Yeah?
Keep your eyes open.
Right.
Sweetheart, honey, tell me, am I still the guy? The only guy?
The first, the last, and always, Bobby. I love you.
That's what murdered me up in that joint. I didn't mind anything. Do you hear? Anything. The rotten food, the lousy beds, that was all easy. It was just being away from you, kid. That's what ate the heart out of me. Gee, it was awful.
And you don't want to go back there again, do you?
Go back?
You want to go somewhere away from here with me, don't you? Where there aren't no cops knocking on doors, and where you ain't being hunted all the time. You want to do that, don't you?
I want to do anything that'll keep me just where I am now. Right here by you.
Then promise me you'll give up the idea of trying to find out who it was that framed you.
I know, baby.
Don't you understand how I feel? Ain't I entitled to a break of some kind?
Sure, kid, but...
Ain't your love for me just a little bit bigger than your wanting to kill the man who framed you? All those long, awful nights. They weren't all for nothing, were they, Bobby? Hasn't it been tough enough to sit here, eating my heart out, waiting for you, without thinking that now you're going to do something that'll make you really guilty? Oh, Bobby, sweet, when you know how much I love you, you ain't going to murder me like that. You won't do that, Bobby, will you? You won't.
I know, kid, but that's only your angle. I love you, you know that. But think this over. I got sent up to do 20 years for killing a guy I never even seen. Now I'm loose again. But all my life I got to go around living in some other country. Scared stiff every time a stranger shows up. Not 1 minute's rest or peace of mind or anything. Don't you get the idea, kid? As long as that charge stands against me, I'm guilty. And I didn't do it. That's what's burning me up. And the lousy rat who did do it is walking around nice and easy. Well, I gotta go crawling through alleys, live like a dog, and die like a sick bum. Oh. I tell you, I won't do it. I won't.
Don't.
Quick, some guy is coming up the stairs.
Who is it?
Dick, I don't know. Inside.
Come in.
Well. Everybody here but the guy I'm looking for.
And who might that be, Mr. Miles?
Well, it might be Babe Ruth, kid, but it ain't.
I thought maybe your brother got back.
My brother?
Yeah, you have a brother, haven't you?
What'd he be doing here?
Oh, hello, Snowbird. You're here, too, huh? Bring your reindeers up with you? So, Doyle didn't get back yet, huh?
Yes. You think he's coming here?
Now, listen, cutie. Hate me, swear at me, curse me, do what you like, but don't you try to kid me.
Why, we wouldn't think of such a thing.
I'm not talking to you.
Well, let me tell you something, Mr. Myers. Bobby Doyle made a rummy of himself when he got mixed up with this mob that got him sent out. But he ain't staff enough, now that he's loose, to walk back in here and let you pick him up.
That's what you tell me. But you've seen him, haven't you?
No.
Haven't laid eyes on him since he got out of the coop.
No.
Got no idea where he is.
Not one.
You're a lot of lousy liars. All of you. And don't forget this, will you? There's a law about aiding and abetting. You might all do a stretch. Yeah, before I get through, you might... Oh. Well, who are you?
Me?
You?
I'm Martha Haley.
You are. What are you doing here?
I'm sitting down in this chair.
Yeah, well, let me see how long it'll take you to get out of that chair. You're sitting down in that. You're a French Jane, ain't you? Did you hear what I said? Who are you?
She's the girl who cleans the rooms on these 2 floors.
Oh, she is, huh? Well, what's she doing over here all dressed up at this time of night?
I'm
Well? Yeah?
waiting for my mother.
Oh, you're waiting for your mother?
Yes, sir. She's upstairs visiting a woman that's sick.
Oh, she is, huh?
Yes, sir.
Well, you could do a lot better for yourself than sitting around with a mob like this. You know that, don't you?
Yes, sir.
All right, smart guys. All right. Have all the fun you can while you can. But don't forget this. Your friend Doyle is going back to Sing Sing, and he's going back cuffed to that wrist. Shoot that in your arm, Hop. Either arm.
A big bum.
Stay there a while, sweetheart. I want to make sure he's gone. Martha, that was pretty slick of you.
Hey, why did she say she was waiting for her mother?
'Cause when Mr. Doyle goes out with me dressed like a woman, if that cop's watching, he'll think that's her.
Yeah? Well, what the... Hey, whoever thought you were goofy?
Well, you danced with that James Ford son tonight. Now, don't tell me. I saw you.
We wait for you to be out, Mother.
I guess she didn't hear you. She's pretty deep.
Come on, 8:32. This is the place.
Gee, I'm glad nobody knows you're a man, 'cause this would be a terrible thing for me to do.
Well, hello, Mother. Did you have a good walk?
How can you walk on this junk? I was dragged.
Guess I'll be going right along now, huh?
Oh, sure. Go ahead, kid. You're a good scout. Johnny, got any jack on you?
Hello, yeah, why?
Slip her $5 for me, will you?
Yeah, $5.
Oh, no, I don't want nothing. Oh, no, it was a great pleasure just walking with you. I ain't used to being with celebrated people.
Celebrated? This guy's sought after. There, you take the $5. And, of course, I don't have to tell you, you don't know nothing.
That's what lots of people think anyway. Hope you get along all right, Mr. Doyle. Be terrible embarrassing if you was caught now.
Embarrassing. She's an ace, that Jane. Hey, help me off with this junk, will you?
Hey, not yet, sweetheart, not yet. You ain't home, you know.
What do you mean?
Here. There's where you're going to live.
Is that so?
Oh, don't give me credit for this. A bootlegger built this nearly 5 years ago. He lived in this room and he kept his junk up in the attic. Landlady told me about it when I took the room.
Can you beat that?
So when I heard you was coming out, I fixed it up as best I could. Come on up, kid. Now be careful, there's only about 6 stairs till you get to the other one. And it's dark in there. Well, here we are, kid. It ain't much, but it's the best we have.
Say, this is all right, Johnny. But listen, you know, I can't lay up here like a possum in a tree. Not for long.
Well, you gotta lay up for a while till the chase dies down. You know how these guys are. A couple of weeks from now, they won't be so hot. I'll bring up your grub, and once in a while on a dark night, you can sneak out and take a little walk.
And you'll get me a message from her every day? From Baby? Listen, pal. She's all there is, you got that? She's all there is, and I can't lose her.
Well, she won't be much good to you if you're sitting up there again looking through an iron grate. Oh, sure, I know how you feel. I'll get a message to you every day. Now, you go ahead and get some rest. Night, pal.
Good night, Johnny.
Gee, I can't tell you how good it seems to see you outside once more.
I can't tell how good it feels to be out. And I got you to thank for it.
Oh, forget it.
That's one thing I ain't never learned to do, Johnny. Forget a pal.
Well, good night again, kid. And say, if you want some air, there's a window there.
Yeah, I was noticing that. That's the nicest little window I ever seen.
Yeah?
'Cause it ain't got no bars on it.
Yeah. Yeah? What about? No, not yet. I said not yet. What does she want? Didn't I tell you once before? No, Joe, no. Use your head. It ain't safe, I tell you. Wait a minute. Maybe this is her now. Come in. Hello, Bess.
Hello, Don.
Yeah, it's her, all right. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, don't waste my time with that stuff. Well?
Who is that you were talking to, Joe?
Yeah, he said you were coming straight up here from Mike.
I did.
And I told you not to, didn't I? I don't want any of the mobs sending their women up here where I live.
Well, how else was I going to see you?
What do you want to see me for?
That ain't a smart question at all coming from you.
I'm not trying to be smart. What do you want to see me for?
Well, now, first of all, quit barking at me. I'm here 'cause Mike can't come himself. He's getting worse every minute, and we're out of money.
Oh, so that's it.
That's it.
Well, listen, Bess, I paid Mike his bit on that last job. I'm not supposed to go on giving him coin every time he squawks, am I?
Say, listen, sucker, how do you get that way? Mike was shot while he was working for you.
And he was paid.
Let me finish. That bullet's been in his leg 5 weeks now. He ain't had the care you'd give a sick dog, all because you won't let him get a regular doctor.
But you can't, I tell you. That's a bullet wound. And a doctor's got to report that. And once he does, where are we?
But the doctor you sent don't know what he's doing. He's an awful bum, and Mike's a lot worse. He's got fever. He's likely to croak.
Oh, all right. Here. Here's $200. But tell Mike to hold out a couple of days longer, will you? And I'll send him a regular guy. Maybe send him to the hospital. Did they try to get that bullet out?
How do I know? He just lays there and goes gaga. I'm out on my feet taking care of him.
Oh, you're a good kid. Mike'll be okay now, you see. Run along, will you, Bess? And tell Mike I'll drop over to see him tomorrow, maybe.
If I could only find someone I could trust to help me take care of him, it wouldn't be so bad. But I'm afraid to leave him for long, for fear he might die while I'm gone.
He ain't gonna die. Now, forget that, Bess, will you? And run along like a good girl. And tell Mike to hurry up and get well. Because we're going to Havana this winter.
Not me. If ever I see Mike on his 2 feet again, I'm going to sleep all winter. Thanks, Don.
Oh, I'm going now, Bebe. And while I'm out, I might as well get the meat for tomorrow. Shall I get the beef or the veal?
Beef. It's cheaper.
Yeah, we've got to think of that, too. We're getting pretty short.
Yeah, I know.
And we can't take much more money from Mr. Dunn, can we?
We're not taking it from him. It's Bobby's money. He had it coming when he went up. Come in.
Oh.
Hello, Kitty.
How are you, Mr. Dunn? We were just talking about you.
You were, huh? How are you today, baby?
Oh, just like you see me.
I'll run along, I guess.
Sure, go ahead. Oh, and get the latest paper, will you?
Oh, sure.
Any news?
None.
That's mighty funny to me.
What is?
The whole thing. Bobby breaks out of the coop and no one knows who pulled it. He's been out 3 days now and no one knows where he is. The cops don't know. I talked to them last night.
You did?
Yeah. I made him a proposition to lay off Bobby. I mean, not to look for him too hard.
But he wouldn't do that.
I think Inspector Wilmot might. He's a high-class cop with a big, generous outlook on life. But Biff Myers was there. And you know that egg. He'd rather run over you than squawk the horn.
He was up here last night.
Biff was? What time?
About 10 o'clock.
Oh, right after I got through with him, huh? Get the idea? He thought because I made him the proposition I did, I knew where Bobby was. Well, he'll never get his hands on Bobby Doyle. Not unless he croaks me first. He knows that.
You've been awfully sweet through all this, Don.
Well, why not? Ain't I Bobby's pal? And yours? You know that, don't you? Hmm?
Well, if I didn't know it by now, I guess I never will. Say, tell me something. Who do you really think killed that policeman?
Honey, I had all my gang up in a line. I stood with a gat in my hand and threatened to shoot the first guy who lied to me, and every one of them swear it was Bobby who let the gun go.
But listen, Don, he'd tell me the truth. Me, the girl he loved. He'd tell me. And he took an oath that he wasn't even in the car.
Well, to tell you the truth, honey, he was so drunk that night, I don't think he really remembers just where he was. I thought I'd come up and find out if you knew anything I didn't.
Not a thing.
Oh, excuse me, Miss Beatrice. I thought you was alone.
More good-looking fellas hanging around here.
Now, don't forget, if you need any more money, Bobby still has a credit of $200 or $300 with me, you know.
Say, Don, it's really Bobby's money you've been giving us? You're not doing it yourself just to help us?
Why, you silly little kid, of course it's his. Not that it would make any difference. You could have anything I own. You know that, don't you?
Sure I do. And listen, Don, I just can't lie to you any longer.
Lie to me.
Yes. Bobby was up here last night.
Bobby was up here? No.
He came up for about 10 minutes.
Well, where is he now?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know exactly.
Well, why do you want to keep that from me? Me, your pal, and his best friend.
Because I was told not to tell. I half promised I wouldn't.
But who would want to keep that from me?
I'd rather not tell you.
Oh, you don't have to. There's the little rat.
What's up?
It's my fault, Johnny.
No,
it's my
it
fault.
isn't. It's his. You lousy little porch-climbing thief. I told you once before I didn't like you.
Please, Don, please. I didn't want to start anything.
Oh,
I didn't mean to.
I'm sorry. Please, forgive me, won't you? But I always lose my head when I look at this little bum. Please, B.B., overlook it, won't you? Just think that anyone would keep me in the dark at a time like this. Forget it, Johnny, and tell me where Doyle is. What have you done with him?
Oh, that's it, huh? Well, find out.
You say that to me?
I say that to you.
You mean you know where he is and you won't tell me?
I don't know where he is. But if I did know, I wouldn't tell you.
Please.
Oh, all right. All right. Go ahead. Go ahead. But, B.B., you mark my words. If you love Bobby Doyle as you say you do, you're a very silly girl to put his life in the hands of a goof like this who doesn't even know what he's doing half the time.
Well, I know enough not to trust anything to you.
You do. Well, don't forget something. You won't always be up here. Once again, B.B., you know your own business. But if you knew this little tramp as well as I do, you wouldn't trust him a minute. If you want me for anything, just let me know. Hold out on me, huh?
You're wrong, Johnny. You're wrong, I tell you.
That's the second time he hit me in the face.
Oh, I'm sorry, dear. I'm awfully sorry.
Promise me again, do you hear? Promise you won't ever tell that guy anything.
But you're wrong, I tell you. Why should Don be anything but Bobby's friend?
If you were the kind of a kid he thinks you are, you'd know.
What do you mean?
Oh, forget it, baby. Don't let it worry you. Mr. Don Wilkes ain't my boss, and he ain't ever gonna be. Oh, I forgot. Here's a note from Bobby.
Baby! What's the matter? I'm terrible sorry, but I forgot. Did we want the beef or the veal?
Oh, darling.
What is the highest tower in Europe? Gee, that's a tough one.
I ask you. What a joint.
What's the matter, Inspector? Don't you like my tie?
I wasn't looking at your tie, Don. I was sitting here trying to dope something out.
Yeah? Tell me what it is. Maybe I can help you.
As I've been looking you over, I was thinking of the first time I ever saw you, working on the second chair at the Central Barber Shop.
Yeah. About 6 years ago.
Only 6 years? And how much jack you got today, Don?
That would be telling. Why?
Well, I was just wondering how the taxpayers could expect a cop to be honest on $2,600 a year when he has to look at guys like you every day.
Why be a cop? Say, haven't you any idea what time Biff will be in?
Oh, yes, most any minute now. But why all this secrecy? You can tell me, can't you?
Of course I could, Inspector, but you'd only turn the matter over to Biff, wouldn't you?
Yes, I suppose so.
Well, I'll wait and see him then.
Oh, here you are now, Biff.
Yeah.
Don has something to tell you.
Oh, yeah?
Must be very important. He wouldn't tell me.
Oh, anything this guy has to say is important. To him.
All right, Don, go ahead. But let me tell you something. Don't make any more cracks around here like you made last night. Get me?
Well, what's on your mind, smart guy?
You don't like me, do you?
No, not a whole lot, no.
And yet I'm going to slip you something which will prove I like you.
That tickles me to death to hear that you like me. Yeah, why do you like me?
I really don't know.
Neither do I, so let's hear it. What is it?
You know I'm a friend of Doyle's, don't you?
I heard you say you were, yeah.
Well, I'm so much his friend that I don't want the cops of any other town but this to get the credit for picking him up. If Doyle must be caught, I want it done by the man who should do it. You.
Yeah.
So if you want Bobby Doyle, follow Johnny the Hop. He knows where he is. And I'll take your word for it. You won't tip where you got your information.
Well, you lousy bum.
Oh, my friends, if you could have seen me a year ago.
We did.
Shame on you. Go ahead, brother. A year ago, I was a stranger to him. It is all.
Hello, Biff.
Oh, hello, Annie.
Where have you been lately?
Lay off me now, will you? I'm busy.
Well, for crying out loud.
I tell you, kid, it would have handed you the laugh of your life. I walks into this church and I leaves the wise dick standing outside.
He wouldn't follow you in, huh?
Oh, he'd be afraid to go into church. The roof might fall on him.
But you weren't afraid, huh?
Well, to be frank with you, I was kind of uneasy. You know, I ain't been in a church since I was a kid. And all them statues seem to be looking down at you and saying, what have you been doing lately? Tell you the truth, I was kind of glad to get out.
You know, they're great things, churches. I mean, a fella ought to go whenever he gets a chance. You know, the music and the choir and the smell of the incense burning. And all the people kneeling down, looking kind of whipped. And you gotta look whipped once you're in a church. Because when you're in there, no man is better than the other. Everybody's done something wrong and come to say he's sorry. I guess if I get out of this, I will go to church quite a lot.
Yeah, me too. Maybe. Gee, can you beat that? Here we are talking about church, and you hear that?
Yeah. Where is it?
There's a church right back of us here. Gee, that's a funny break, ain't it?
It sure is. Well, I feel better. However, I'd sooner had a big steak.
Hey, listen, Guy, I can't go lugging big steaks out of restaurants. They'd be half in a minute.
Sure, I was just kidding.
Well, I think I'll go take a walk around. And then after a while, maybe if it's all nice and quiet, you can go get a little fresh air.
Oh, hey, wait a minute. I want to answer Beebe's note.
For the love of Mike, you don't expect me to go back there tonight, do you?
Well, it's early, ain't it?
Well, it's about 8 o'clock.
Oh, sure, you brought me this one. I want to send one back.
Oh, all right, Sap. Go ahead and write it.
Well, give me something to do it with.
Hey, they ruined you up there in that pen. You want more service. There you are. Now shoot.
Thanks. And Johnny, tell her I'll never love anybody but her.
You mean tell her that besides all you got in this?
Sure.
Hey, I ought to hide you up in Bellevue, not here.
And Johnny, get back as quick as you can, will you? It's kind of lonesome here.
Well, you see, I put my car in the shop today, so I'll have to walk. Oh, sure, I'll get back as soon as I can.
Thanks, kid.
Now, you go ahead and rest and just forget everything.
Yeah. I can forget everything but just one thing. The guy that framed me.
Well, that'll come. It always does. Some guy'll squawk when we least expect it. Well, be good till I get back.
Johnny, don't break your leg. If you do, I don't eat.
Good night.
So long, kid.
Baby, what the deuce? What's wrong?
Nothing, Johnny, nothing. Only I just felt like I had to see him. I had to.
You took an awful chance coming over here, kid. You sure you wasn't followed?
I took a taxi uptown and a subway down. I was going to tell you tonight I wanted to come, but I was afraid you wouldn't let me.
You're right, I wouldn't.
Besides, I got to tell him something I couldn't write.
Well, as long as you give me a surprise, you can go up and give him one. Here, this is the way.
Oh, gee, that's cute.
Now, I'll go downstairs and have a look around and be sure that nobody followed you.
I know you think I did wrong, but I'll be awfully careful.
Now, listen, baby. Don't stay longer than 10 minutes. As you know, these cops are too wise not to be on the watch every minute. Go ahead. I'll shut it after you.
Thanks, Johnny, thanks. I know you're a good friend.
Oh, that's all right, kid. Hurry up.
Baby. Baby.
Don't scold me, dear. I couldn't stay away any longer.
How'd you get in? Where's Johnny?
He opened the door for me. Oh, you poor kid. You poor, lonely, sweet kid. Up here all alone in this awful place.
This ain't so bad. It's better than up where I was. Gee, it's great of you to come and see me like this. It's no wonder I'm crazy about you, is it?
I had so many things to tell you I couldn't think of last night. But once I knew you were over here safe and sound, my mind got working. Now listen, we got to have money to go away, quite a lot. And where are we going to get it?
I thought of that, too. I got a brother in Rochester. He'd stake me, but I'm afraid they're watching his mail, see?
No, I got a better way. We'll borrow it from Don.
Yeah?
You've no idea how nice he's been to us since you've been gone. Of course, the money he's been giving us was really yours. He said you had it coming.
He said that, huh? That's pretty darn sweet of Don, because I didn't have a bean coming. Not a dime.
Well, that's what I really thought myself. But I didn't want to offend him by refusing it.
I'll tell you about Don. He feels kind of guilty about my getting in this jail. I mean, he feels it's kind of his fault, because I used to hang around with some of his gang, see? And it must have been one of them that framed me.
Well, dear, I'm going to tell you all of it. Me and Johnny got into a fight tonight over not telling him where you were hidden. And he got awful mad. He hit Johnny in the face and went on terrible.
I suppose it was kind of a rotten trick not to tell Don after he's been so nice. But what can we do? Johnny's just a peevish kid, and he hates Don. But on the other hand, Johnny got me out. We can't go back on him.
Sure, I know. But I know that Don would loan us, say, $1,000, so we could go away somewhere, just you and me. You know, to one of those foreign countries. Oh, Bobby, sweet. Have you thought what it's going to mean? Just you and me. And all this trouble behind us.
Have I thought about it? Listen, that's all I do when I'm here alone. I just lie here and look up at the ceiling. Look. Over there is us. And over here is someplace else. You know, someplace a long ways off. And we're just arriving. We're Mr. and Mrs. Smith or something. Because I can't use my own name, see? And then I see us getting acquainted, making a lot of friends. You know, people who never heard of Bobby Doyle, who don't know nothing about Sing Sing or Biff Myers or any of that stuff. And then I see us living there, close together. Close together. And that's the way we'll die, too. Close together. And be buried in one grave.
Come on, Rat. This time you're going to my church.
For what?
You don't know, do you?
Oh. I was dreaming, I guess. Dreaming we were over there, in that new country.
Don't you worry, kitten. We'll get there.
I gotta go now. I promised Johnny I wouldn't stay long.
I hate to have you go. Sure. I know how it is.
And I can't promise I'll come again. I guess it was pretty risky.
It won't be long now. They'll get tired of hunting me pretty soon. Then it'll be our time to beat it.
Kiss me again. I love you. Don't ever forget that. I love you.
When I forget that, there won't be any other country. 'Cause I won't care.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Sweetheart, tell Johnny to come up, will you?
Johnny isn't here.
No. Listen, do you think you can push the bed back against the panel?
Sure, it's not very heavy.
All right. Good night. Am I a lucky guy?
Tell you he was married in May.
No, he wasn't. He was married in September. Wasn't he, Mike? How do I know?
Hello, boys.
Hello, Biff.
Hello, Biff. Well, come on, sweetheart. Come on. You're home.
How's that? Ain't she a darling? Got him, eh, Biff?
I got him.
Hey, what's this all about? What have I done?
You don't know, do you?
No, I don't.
Well, we're going to tell you. Doyle's in this town laying up somewhere, and you know where the somewhere is.
I do not. Why should I? What makes you think I know?
Because of that old runaround you gave me today. You wouldn't have gone to all that trouble if you hadn't been anxious to throw me off.
Oh, I was only doing that for fun.
Well, you picked out a pretty tough bird to have fun with. You tell him, Kelly.
Come on now, Johnny, loosen up. Where is he?
I don't know, I tell you.
Would you tell us if you did?
Why, sure I would. I ain't looking for no trouble.
How long has Doyle been in town?
I didn't know he was in town.
What do you say, Biff? The works?
No. We don't need it with Johnny. Johnny's going to be nice. He's going to tell us everything he knows, aren't you, Johnny?
But I don't know nothing, I tell you.
You don't, huh? Turn out the light, Tommy.
What are you going to do?
We're going to sit here in the dark and tell you a little story.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, listen, Biff, for God's sake, don't turn that light out. I don't like it.
That's the reason we're going to turn it out. Turn it out, Tommy.
Yeah, but what's the idea? What for?
Johnny?
You're going to beat me up.
You ever been over in the morgue, Johnny? That little, low, dark, damp building over there by the river? Where they take the poor stiffs who die in here. Those who have no relatives or friends to claim the body as you have none, Johnny. You ever been over there?
No, I don't want to see it.
Oh, you can't see it when they carry you over. No, Johnny, no.
You ain't gonna croak me. You won't.
I told you, Johnny, we're not gonna lay a finger on you. Johnny, you got a bad habit, kid. A rotten bad habit, and you've had it for years. And they tell me when the habit isn't satisfied, the suffering is just plain hell. They tell me it begins with a pain in the belly, Johnny, like a big hot iron hand that had a hold of all your guts in one grip and was squeezing.
Oh, don't. Please don't.
A lot of guys died in here who had your habit, Johnny. I know they died because I saw them afterwards over in the little morgue I was telling you about. All laid out there, side by side. Now, kid, we're gonna lock you up for a few days without anything. Have you got that? Without anything that you love so much.
Hey, listen, Biff is chewing something.
He's chewing something. Turn that light on, will you?
His mouth.
What are you trying to get away with? What are you... You will, huh? Foxy little guy, ain't he, huh? Oh, you don't know anything, huh?
What is it, Biff?
It's a note from Doyle to that Jane of his.
You dirty bum.
That ain't gonna get you anything either.
Not a thing. Now listen, you. You come through with me nice and clear, and I'll throw you out of here. You give me an argument, I'm gonna slough you for aiding and abetting. Well, come on, where is he?
Oh, Biff, for God's sake, have a heart. You know that Doyle and his girl are the only two friends I got. Don't ask me. Don't make me.
I'm gonna give you 1 minute.
Biff, please.
You heard what he said.
Will you promise you won't ever tell Bobby where you cut your tip?
I want Doyle. How I get him is my business. Now, come on.
Well, then.
Well?
Oh, my God,
I'm squawking.
That's all right. You got to protect yourself.
He's up at my house.
You're a rotten little liar. I was up there myself today.
There's a panel behind the bed. He's in the attic.
How long has he been in town?
About 3 days.
Was he up in Beebe's apartment that night I was up?
Yeah.
He was, huh? Where was he?
In the sofa. They got it tricked.
Oh, so he's up in the attic now, over your room.
For God's sake, don't ask me to say it again.
Has he got a rod?
No, he never carried one. He didn't kill that cop.
All right, kid, but you listen to this. If I find out that you tried to tip him off or you lied to me...
I didn't. I wish I could. I hate myself now. I was bad enough before, but I never was a squealer, you know.
All right, Kelly. Get out the car. Get Collins and Cromberg, Dick Brown, and yourself. Come on the button now. This is a big night.
You better hold this rat until I find out that all he says is on the level.
It better be on the level. It's on the level, all right. He can't afford to lie to me anymore. Well, come on. Never mind all that sad stuff. Come on, get out of here.
Hello. Oh, my goodness, Phoebe. I've been terrible worried. Where'd you go?
Oh. I can't talk about it yet. But I'll tell you sometime, honey.
Well, you certainly look like you feel better.
Oh, I do, Mary, I do. Gee, I'm happy. I'm awful happy.
Well, I'm not. These darn cards been running in trouble. Trouble from a dark man. Trouble from a light man.
And trouble from your grandmother. What do we care what the cards say? In a strange country.
What?
Oh, nothing, dear. I'm just a little goofy, that's all. Come in. Hello?
Oh, baby. You feel, Mary?
Oh, what's the matter, Don? You look kind of serious.
I'm afraid I have some bad news for you, honey.
Bad news? What
Yeah.
about, Bobby?
Remember I warned you not to trust Johnny and you wouldn't listen to me?
Well, what?
Not a half hour ago, I saw him going into the door of police headquarters with Biff.
Arrested?
No, he appeared to be going in of his own free will.
Oh,
no.
Johnny wouldn't do anything.
Johnny wouldn't.
I'm only telling you what I saw.
Well, I couldn't. I wouldn't believe it.
No, me either. He wouldn't do it.
Johnny, what is it? Tell me.
I came up here as soon as I could because I thought you ought to know.
What?
I squealed.
Didn't
Oh, Johnny,
I tell
you
you lousy
You
little
didn't.
bum?
You didn't.
I had to. They grabbed me and found Bobby's note to you on me. They're on their way now to take him.
Bobby, sweetheart. Oh, Johnny, how could you? How could you?
You had
How
no
could
business
you?
allowing a dirty little creature like this to know all he did. Why didn't you tell me?
I did tell you.
You told him what?
You told me you had Doyle hidden, but you didn't tell me where.
She told you that?
Phoebe, what are we gonna do? I don't know. Only I can't stay here. I'm going.
Going where?
The police headquarters to him. I can't stay here with Bobby down there in jail again. Come on, Mary.
My car's outside. I'll take you, but you can't do any good down there.
But I can see him. I can be near him, maybe. Oh, Johnny, how could you? Oh, I wish I could understand. I wish I could understand.
Dirty shame.
Why would he do it?
And you, get out of town.
All right, Kelly. You and Tommy with me. Con, take care of that end. You and Jerry. All right, Dick, around on that side. Easy now. Here we go. Watch yourself now. Watch yourself. All right. Wait a minute. Let me help you. Behind the bed, he said. Ah.
Well, there you are. The kid told the truth. Pretty slick, eh?
Slick is right. Come on down, Doyle. And come with your hands in the air. You hear what I'm telling you? You haven't got a chance.
Careful, kid.
Well, Kelly, it's up to us, I guess.
Go on, Biff. I'm right behind you.
Get him up, Doyle. Holy. Croaked himself. Phone the coroner's office, Kelly.
Well, that's the last thing I thought he'd do.
Well, you never can tell about these birds.
I should say you can't.
What do you think of that?
All right, go ahead.
No, that's one for the book.
Well, Biff?
Well, we had it right, Chief. But he beat us to it.
How's that?
He hung himself.
Hung himself.
Right. Phone the coroner's office, Kelly.
Well, that cleans that up.
Hung himself, huh?
Yeah.
Poor kid. Let's go up and take a look at it.
Come along. I've been up before, so you can follow me. Watch yourself now.
Yes.
No, we can quick, Dave.
You're drunk again.
All right, Kelly, he's on the roof. I tell you, he's on the roof. Go on up. Kelly! Go on up. Blocked. What do you mean it's blocked? Break it in. Break.
Hey, you guns, what are you trying to get away with?
Kelly! All right, go on, Biff.
There, you poor little kid. Now, come on. Pull yourself together, dear. Come on, they haven't got him yet.
He got away. He got away. He got away.
Well, at least they didn't find him in that room. That's something.
Well, where do you suppose he is? He has no money, nothing. Oh, Don, with your pull in this town, can't some of your boys trail the cops and find out something?
Why, of course they can, honey. But first of all, I'm principally concerned over you.
Me?
Don't you see that, honey? Why, if anything were to happen to Bobby, you wouldn't have a soul to depend upon but me. Oh, baby, if you only knew how much I wanted to help you and care for you. Don't you see that, baby? Hey, how many times have I
Now,
told
don't begin
you...
by asking me what I've changed for. Joe said I'd find you here.
What do you want?
Mike's dying. Do you hear that? He's dying. He's got a priest with him.
Please.
Well, do I have to tell you any more? He wants you, and you got to go to him. Here's a note he sent.
What is it?
How do I know? He's dying, I tell you. He's got to get something off his chest. That's all he said. Come on, will you?
All right, go ahead. I'll be right down.
You're Doyle's girl, ain't you? What a break you're getting.
What is it? Who's dying?
One of the boys, Mike, he's been sick for some time. I'll be right back as soon as I can.
Bobby. Oh, Bobby.
Quick, kid, I ain't got a minute. They're right behind me.
Why, Bobby, old pal, how did you make it?
I thought I'd find you here. That's my one big reason for coming up. Tell me the truth, kid. Has this guy made his play for you yet?
Bobby.
Has he pulled what he's been framing all this time? He's a smart fella, this. You were my pal and hers, were you double-crossing mangy dog? I was hiding in an alley just now and heard it all. Heard Kelly tell another cop that it was you that gave Biff the tip that Johnny knew where I was.
Bobby, no.
Yes, this is the bum who all along framed it. Got me sent up. Got me set up for murder so he could try and grab you. Lock that door, kid.
No, Bobby, no.
They're going to get me, that's a cinch. But before they do, I'm going to give this louse a white man's beating. I'm going to spoil everything God gave you, fella.
Yeah? Well, you just try it.
Wait, Bobby, wait. Who's Mike in the mob? Who is he?
Mike Laffetti, why?
He's got a note. A girl came just now and gave him a note from some Mike. She says he's dying.
Mike Buffetti. I'm beginning to see it. Let me have a look at that note.
You're crazy. You stay right where you are. You too, baby. You put a finger on me, and I'll croak you right where you stand. There's a reward out for you, and I could kill you and get paid for it.
You won't shoot me while I'm looking at you. You ain't got the guts.
I haven't, huh?
You know you haven't.
You're gonna stay right here till the cops come, and then you're going back to stir for 20 years and leave her for somebody else, kid, and it might as well be me.
Wow. I waited too long, didn't I?
Biff, what the...
When we didn't pick you up down there, I thought you'd blow back here.
Got him, eh?
Got him.
Hello. Dapper Dawn. Who pulled this? I shot through the lungs, Chief. He's alive.
All right. Get an ambulance. Get him to the hospital. Give me that note he's got there.
Oh, this?
Yes. After what I heard in there, this means a whole lot. All right, get him over there. Put him under guard. Don't let anybody talk to him till I get there. Go ahead.
Say, Biff, here's a hot one. You know who we picked up in front just now?
No.
Told him a lotta. All dolled up as an organ grinder.
Yeah?
Look at him out there.
Well, what do you think
Take a
of
good
that?
hold of him, son.
All right, go ahead, boys. Go ahead.
That organ grinder's been in front of this house ever since he got out.
Yeah? Where's the gun you shot that guy with?
I shot him with?
Yeah.
Biff, I didn't do it.
You didn't. Who did?
Oh, we thought you knew we didn't.
What do you mean you thought I know it? You can't see anything in there.
But, Biff, I swear I didn't. We were standing right here when bang goes a gas.
Well, where'd it come from then?
Well, maybe through the window. I swear I didn't do it, Biff.
No? You know this pretty near clears you, don't you?
Biff.
It's almost a confession. And you're crazy about each other, ain't you?
You can tell that over the radio.
All right, Doyle. You go over and report to the inspector. Wait there till I come. I'm going from here over and see Mike. If he's still alive, I'll make him sign this confession. If he's dead, you're in the clear anyway. And don't worry about who shot Don.
And that goes for you, too, Johnny. All right, Jerry. On the left side. Get out of the way, quick. All right, Jerry. Go over with us, Tommy. All right, kid, you know the way. On the left side. Oh, wait a minute now. Biff, give me a chance. I want to get this story. I've been making it. If you wait a couple of days, I know. I'll give you.
Ain't that terrible? They always shoot the good-looking ones.